In the service, is the patient breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing.
Is she conscious?
Yeah. She's a bit of both, really. Basically, it's my partner's daughter. Is my little girl as well. I brought her up. We've got all three children here playing, and was in the kitchen making a coffee, and they've been in the living room, and I heard a bang. So I came out, and the little lad stood there, and the little girl's on the floor, and she was crying, and then she stopped crying, and then she was sick, and now she's just a little bit floppy, to be honest with you.
And do you know what the bang was?
No, I don't know I don't know if she's fallen off of the sofa, or I don't know. Just the three of them playing with us.
Right.
And he just said start, and when I walked in, she was dead on the floor. Shush, darling.
So you heard a bang, the patient was on the floor?
I've heard a bang, yeah. I came in, and the little lad was saying star, which is the little girl.
Yeah.
So I've obviously shouted at mummy, said sit up, star. So I sat her up, and I started to rub her back, because she was like breathing, but like struggling.
Yeah.
So I was rubbing her back. She started to be sick. So I led her on the floor.
Yeah.
Put her in like CPR position, started to run her back. She started to lose breath. So I performed CPR on her.
So you've done CPR on her?
Yeah, I've done CPR. I've got her in the recovery position now.
So as a starting point, when I listen to something like this, I think about how I would react if my child, or the child of a friend, was seriously ill. I wouldn't be calm at all. I definitely wouldn't be having essentially a chat with the operator. I'd be screaming at them to get here now. Also, did you notice Brockhill subtly trying to blame one of the other children who was there for what had happened, specifically the 2.5-year-old little boy who was there for a play date? Lastly, these idiots seem to throw in CPR because they think it makes them look innocent. They seem to forget that doing this is extremely tiring. Brockhill would have likely been out of breath if she had done this to start, but nope, she's just chatting away, happy as Larry. This nonchalant manner and further warning signs were also seen by the paramedics who attended. They were Wendy Durkin and Andy Campbell. They raced to a Category 1 incident, as serious as it gets, but when they got to the location at 4 p.m, they were met by Savannah Brockhill in the car park of the flat complex, and she was cool as a cucumber. Andy later reported, quote, she was walking over quite slowly. She said the patient was upstairs in the flat. She wasn't crying, she didn't seem to be panicked. Her movement was slow, there was no urgency as we went up to the flat. She said the child was unattended and she heard a bang. She said she found the girl floppy and had performed CPR. Wendy also noticed that Brockhill was very calm and had no urgency in her voice whatsoever, which she said was not normal. I'd expect someone to be worried about their child, panicking and rushing. Brockhill even admitted to Wendy, instead of calling 999 immediately, she'd make Google searches about how to treat a baby suffering from shock. Wendy described entering the flat, where she saw, quote, very pale, almost lifeless child, lying on her front, wearing only a nappy. The breathing was very shallow. If we didn't intervene straight away, it was a cardiac arrest situation. We knew she was gravely ill, and we needed to move quickly. Frankie Smith, who simply stood there gormlessly, also appeared to show no emotion, and both she and Brockhill claimed the latter had performed CPR on Star. However, they then gestured that this had involved pressing Star's abdomen and not her chest, clearly the wrong way to do it. Whilst the paramedics scooped up Star and rushed to the ambulance, Brockhill took her time getting a coat and phone. She was in no rush and showed no emotion. With regard to Smith, she too had to be told to hurry up and seemed to be dragging her feet. Only in the back of the ambulance did Frankie Smith begin to show any emotion, and she began crying. This wasn't remorse for her actions, this was because she knew she was in trouble. These were tears for herself. Soon after setting off, Star went to cardiac arrest. She was rushed straight into resus when the ambulance arrived at Airedale General Hospital at 4:37 p.m. Doctors worked for 20 minutes to save her life, but at 4:59 p.m. on Tuesday the 22nd of September 2020, 16-month-old Star Alicia Hobson was pronounced dead. While sitting next to the dead body of her daughter, Frankie Smith made remarks that Star had been, quote, a tough one who played hard, but that she had been too soft on her. The medical staff were appalled by her callousness.